Good morning, colleagues in America, and then good afternoon and good evening, all Ugandans, wherever you are. James William Mugeni is my name, and I'm back here to discuss the health status of our MPs, members of parliament. Yes, you realize that your illness or your sickness or your death can really cause us problems as Ugandans. Now can cause a country serious issues. I'm just wondering whether, as members of parliament, do you have a baseline health status as you enter Parliament of Uganda? You know, when you're talking about poisoning, these are some of the things you should consider seriously. That what is your health status by the time you go to Parliament? I really saw the discussions rotating around the late having long time illness. Yes, some of us who have been working in HIV for a long time, you know what we call disclosure. Disclosure within the family setting, within the hospital setting, within your group or whatever, your common area setting. So how can we say a member of parliament had a long time illness and it turns out that it is now confusing people? Who keeps records of you people in parliament when you go to parliament? Who keeps your records, your health records? Because disclosure helps in very many ways. These are things we tell our ordinary patients who have HIV, even if those who have cancers. Disclosure helps you to garner support. Disclosure helps you to look for treatment or people who can help you and people who can refer you. How do we get a member of parliament dying of a long illness and a few people know and they are not telling the truth? They're not telling the world the truth because here we are locked up in poison suckers. Yes, let's learn from the best practices. I mean, look at Philel Lutaya. He opened up that he had HIV and we all celebrate Philel Lutaya. World AIDS Day, Philel Lutaya is mentioned because he set records. You're a parliament, you guys in parliament, you don't have to sit and die in ignorance like the people we meet out there. At parliamentary level, you are the epitome of society, that everything is okay, everything with you should be an example for us. What's your health audit as parliamentarians? And when you use your group, because I'm sure there will be people with high blood pressure, there will be people with diabetes, there will be people with any other health complications. Using you as a cohort, you can drive us in the right direction, because not all of you will be referred to overseas because it's expensive. Whereas you have an advantage over us, let's use you as a cohort to create health for the rest of us. And that's why we send you to parliament. We don't send you to parliament to just preserve Museveni. You go to parliament to preserve Museveni. How can you go to preserve Museveni at your own expenses? I am mad with my people of the eastern region. How we were discussing ADF, we are discussing, and yet America came and ran research in all our villages. People living on drugs forever and they are not monitored. I remember I locked up seriously with the US Embassy when they were closing station in Toronto. I said, you can't close this station. This station must stay forever. And I told the American ambassador, I will bring you back to Tororo. You introduce a lot of drugs in our population. And we don't have the mechanism to monitor the health status of these people, long-term effect of people who are on ART. Or AR visas, we call them. The ambassadors left, USA left, USA closed station, and whenever I spoke to them, they said, James, you are so passionate about your people, but this should be talked at government level. You guys only ask for guns. For us people in Tororo, we need a hospital to monitor the long-term effects of ART treatment that we started in the population. 300 of us were employed in HIV/AIDS by US in Tororo. And this is not something to joke about with, because we have people who will have complications, side effects of drugs long term, but we don't have monitoring mechanism. So our members of parliament, be an example for us. From Olanya's death, we all see that we can die. You can die like us, and maybe when you talk of long-term illness, are you dying of HIV like us, and you're using it for political mileage only? Are you poisoned, or you have the disease that is affecting all of us in the populations? I salute you, Ugandans. Wake up and heed to my call. Thank you.